Okay, hi friends. Okay, this is your subtraction worksheet. Well, actually this is a piece of paper, but I'm using it as an example for you to do your subtraction worksheet called the late broom. And the reason this is important is because you need to know how to subtract with decimals, these little points right here. Even when you have zeros on the top, and we've learned how to do this before, so this is review. Anyway, I'm going to show you how to do this problem. So you have to remember, if you have 0 on the top and 8 on the bottom, can you take away 8 from 0 if you have nothing? Can you take away 8? No, because there's nothing there. All right, so if there's more on the floor, you borrow from next door. So the next door neighbor would be right here. But oh no, he has nothing too. So we're gonna have to go all the way to this neighbor. And we're gonna borrow from him. So the 5, if we're taking away from the 5, we're borrowing. So this 5 is gonna become a 4. And since we're borrowing from the 5 and it's becoming a 4, this 0 is going to turn into a 10. All right? Okay, so this 0 became a 10 because we borrowed from right here. But now we have to go all the way back to the ones place because that's always where we start. Again, can we do 0 minus 8? No, so we have to borrow from this neighbor. You can only borrow from the neighbor right next door. So this 10 is going to become, we're borrowing from it, we're taking away. So it becomes a 9. And then this 0 now becomes a 10 because when we borrow, we're always taking a 10 away. Taking a 10 away, that's why this becomes a 10. So this is a 10. So 10 minus 8 is 2. 9 minus 7 is 2. And then don't forget the decimal. It goes right there. Bring it right down, right like that. You don't need an arrow, but bring it right there. And then 4 minus 2 is 2. So now I have 2 lempiras and 22 centavos, or $2.22, depending on whatever money you have. Okay, let's do another one. I'm gonna do another example. So I'm gonna do, say you have $7 or 7 lempiras, and you go to the pulperia and you want to buy a piece of gum for, I don't know, 3 lempiras and 20 centavos. Okay, so there's more on the floor? No, it's 0 minus 0, so just do 0 minus 0. It's 0. Okay, but then you go here, 0 minus 2. Can you take away 2 from 0? No, you cannot, so you have to go to your next door neighbor. Excuse me, next door neighbor, can I borrow a 10? Well, sure. So the 7 becomes a 6 because we're taking that away. We're borrowing 1 from him. And this little guy over here becomes a 10 because we're borrowing 10. 10 minus 2 is 8. Oh, and don't forget your decimal. This decimal is so important. And we do 6 minus 3. Which equals 3. And that's how you have it. So let's try one more time. I'm gonna do one with 2 zeros again. Okay. I'm gonna say we have 9 lempiras. Then we go to the pulperia and we buy something for, I don't know, $4.75. 0 minus 5. Can you do that? No, there's more on the floor, so we go to next door. Can we borrow from this 0? No. So we're gonna go to this 9. The 9 becomes a 8. The 0 becomes a 10. because we're borrowing a tens, and then we have to go all the way to the ones place again because we always start with the ones place with subtraction. 0 minus 5. Nope, we can't do that, so we have to go to our next door neighbor because there's more on the floor and we borrow from next door. The 10 becomes a 9 because it's getting smaller if we're borrowing something. And the 0 becomes a 10 because we're always borrowing a 10. 10 minus 5 is, well, it's 5. 9 minus 7 is 2. Bring down the decimal, very important. And 8 minus 4 is 4. So that is how you subtract with your zeros. So just make sure you're borrowing, and if you borrow again, usually the 10 in the middle always becomes a 9. Do you see the pattern? This becomes less, the 10 turns into a 9, and you have 10. That's usually what happens when you have 2 zeros, okay? But just remember to look at the ones place and see if you can take away from a 0. If you can't take away from a 0, then you have to borrow. But I love you, and good luck. And if you don't do it perfect, that's okay. You're gonna do awesome.